You ever see a family fall apart in real time? Two women, tied by blood, now torn by betrayal. One stayed silent for years to keep the peace. The other just lit a fire that may never go out. And the cameras. They caught everything. This is not just reality TV, this is real pain, real secrets, and a truth too heavy to hide anymore. Stay tuned, because what you're about to see will shake everything you thought you knew about Kimmi and Leticia, motherhood, personal struggles, and business ups and downs. They laughed together, shared real moments, and even seemed to protect each other from the chaos that reality TV brings. But now, with one emotional interview, everything we thought we knew was being questioned. People started asking, was any of it real? Or had they just been acting the whole time, keeping up appearances to make their brand stronger or to protect family secrets? The smiles, the hugs, the heart-to-heart talks, were they genuine? Or just part of a bigger plan to make their lives look perfect in front of the cameras? The sadness in Kimmi's voice and the frustration in Leticia's eyes told a deeper story. These were not just two women talking through a disagreement. This was years of silence, wounds left untreated, and feelings that had been ignored. And now, everything had come bubbling to the surface. Leticia spoke about feeling used, left out, and betrayed by someone she thought had her back. Kimmi, on the other hand, shared how tired she was of always having to keep quiet, of pretending everything was fine when it was not. There was no script, no rehearsed lines, just pain. And it hit home for many viewers. Fans took to social media almost instantly, many of them heartbroken. Some defended Leticia, saying she had always tried to be loyal, even when Kimmi seemed distant. Others sided with Kimmi, saying she had carried too much and was finally breaking free from years of pressure. But most people agreed on one thing: what happened between them felt real, and it hurt to watch. What made the situation even more complicated was that they are family, not just co-stars, not just friends, family. Their kids play together. Their husbands are brothers. The fallout is not just between two women, it is like a crack running through the entire family structure. And now, fans are left wondering if the damage can ever truly be repaired. Some say the tension had always been there, hidden behind perfect pictures and press interviews. Maybe the warning signs were easy to miss: short comments, uncomfortable silences, or moments that felt just a little too forced. Maybe we ignored them because we wanted to believe in their story. We wanted to believe in strong black women holding each other up. We wanted to believe that sisterhood could survive anything. But real life is not always like that. Sometimes love gets buried under pride. Sometimes family hurts you in ways strangers never could. And sometimes, even when you want to fix things, the damage runs too deep. Watching Kimmi and Leticia now feels different. The smiles look forced. The distance is obvious. There is a weight to their words, a sadness that lingers even after the cameras stop rolling. It is not just about drama anymore. It is about truth. And truth, when it finally shows up, does not care about ratings or reputations. It just demands to be heard. What happens next is anybody's guess. Maybe they will take time apart and come back stronger. Maybe this was the final break, and there is no going back. Either way, one thing is clear: their story is a reminder that even the closest relationships can fall apart if the pain is ignored for too long. As the credits rolled, on that episode of Reality with the King, viewers were left in silence, not because they were bored, but because they were stunned. What they had just witnessed was not entertainment. It was heartbreak. It was a reminder that behind every reality show is real life. And in that real life, people hurt, people break, and sometimes, people walk away. And for Kimmi and Leticia, the road to healing, if there is one, will not be easy. It will take more than just another TV moment. It will take honest conversations, deep forgiveness, and the willingness to face the truth, no matter how painful it is. Then came Kimmi's truth. And it was not loud or dramatic, it was quiet, heartfelt, and heavy. She finally admitted that her silence was never really about her. It was for Maurice. She had been holding back her real feelings not because she could not express them, but because she believed her silence would protect the people she loved. "I did not want to be the reason Maurice and Marceau had problems," she said softly. That one sentence carried so much pain. You could feel the weight behind her words, the pressure of being the glue that held everything together, even when she herself was slowly falling apart. It is a story that many women know all too well. In blended families, in-laws, and complicated relationships, women often find themselves choosing peace over truth. They hide their pain, stay quiet during conflict, and try to keep everyone happy. even when it costs them their own emotional well-being. Speaking up, setting boundaries, or showing discomfort can easily be misunderstood. You can be seen as dramatic, selfish, or even divisive, and Kimmi knew that. She knew the moment she let her real feelings out, it could shake the entire family dynamic. So, she kept everything inside. Every hurtful comment, every moment she felt overlooked, every situation where she wished someone had stood up for her, she kept it all locked in her heart. But even silence has its own sound. The quiet starts to echo, and after a while, that echo becomes unbearable. Kimmi explained how that silence made her doubt herself. She kept wondering if she was just being too emotional. She asked herself, am I the problem? She started to believe maybe she was overreacting, or expecting too much. She thought maybe if she just stayed patient, things would get better. But the truth was, she was not the issue. The real problem was the constant pressure to perform, to pretend that everything was okay when deep inside, nothing felt okay at all. Behind her smile was someone who felt unheard. Behind her calm tone was someone who was constantly compromising. Behind the woman everyone saw on camera was a person slowly disappearing into the background. The version of herself she had once loved, the strong, honest, confident woman, was slipping away. She was fading in order to fit into a mold that made everyone else comfortable. And as much as she tried to keep it together, that kind of emotional load cannot be carried forever. At some point, the weight becomes too heavy, the dam breaks. And that is what happened. Everything she had been holding back came rushing out. The tears, the frustration, the years of feeling like her voice did not matter, it all came crashing down. It was not a single moment that caused it. It was years of swallowing pain to protect everyone else. Kimmi's truth was not just about her. It was about so many women who are told to keep the peace, even if that means losing themselves. It was about the quiet strength it takes to carry emotional burdens without ever letting them show. It was about the courage it takes to finally say, "This is hurting me," even if the people around you do not want to hear it. Her story reminded people that silence is not always strength. Sometimes, silence is survival. Sometimes, it is a shield we use when we feel unsafe being vulnerable. But silence can also become a cage. And no one deserves to live trapped in a version of themselves, just to keep others from being uncomfortable. Kimmi's moment of truth became a turning point. She chose herself not in a selfish way, but in a healing way. She stopped hiding behind the fear of causing tension, and started stepping into the freedom of being honest. She stopped letting other people's comfort come before her own peace. And maybe that is the lesson in all of this. That healing does not come from pretending. It comes from speaking, even when your voice shakes. It comes from letting go of the image and holding on to what is real. For Kimmi, it meant breaking years of silence. For others watching, it might mean finally having the courage to speak up. In the end, Kimmi did not just tell her truth. She gave other women permission to do the same. And that kind of honesty, that is what truly starts to heal families, relationships, and even broken pieces of ourselves. Fans reacted immediately. The moment Kimmi opened up, the internet lit up. Some people clapped for her courage, saying it took real strength to speak her truth. They felt she had finally broken free from the pressure to stay silent. Others, though, believed she had gone too far, accusing her of bringing family issues into the public eye. But the real storm came when Leticia stepped in with her own response. Emotional labor, and what women silently carry just to keep others comfortable. Now that everything is out in the open, there is no going back. What we saw on Reality with the King was not just a dramatic interview. It was the truth breaking free. From this point on, Kimmi and Taisha's relationship will never look the same. And then it happened. Huntsville was on fire. Just days after the podcast, Leticia went live on Instagram. She was calm in appearance, dressed in designer wear, but her words were full of fire. She threw sharp, indirect comments. Some people play victim when their true colors have already been showing. She added, "Do not believe everything you see in edited clips. I know what really happened." Viewers flooded the live. Everyone was trying to figure out what she meant. It was short, but powerful. Was Leticia defending herself for trying to control the story before more came out? The comment section lit up. One viewer said, "Leticia always gaslights. Kimmi is just trying to protect her peace." Fans picked sides quickly, but Leticia was not done yet. Hours later, she reposted tweets from fans who hinted that Kimmi had always been jealous, not just of her marriage with Marceau, but of her role in the family, her influence, her strength, her leadership, whether it was real or carefully calculated. Leticia never said Kimmi's name, but everyone knew who she meant. The shade was loud and clear. If anyone still had doubts, they just needed to read between the lines, the emojis, the reposts that felt too specific to be random. The silence between Leticia's posts spoke louder than words. This was not just drama, it was a full-blown emotional war. And then, the story took another twist. Insiders close to the show whispered that producers, always looking for the next big moment, had reached out to Leticia. They wanted her to give her side of the story, to respond publicly to Kimmi's viral truth. At first, Leticia said no. She claimed the pressure on her family was already too much. She wanted time to breathe, to let things calm down, but that changed the moment she saw fans rallying behind Kimmi. As social media exploded with hashtags and TikToks unpacking old clips, Leticia's silence turned into something else: strategy. According to sources, she quickly changed her mind, and when she finally agreed to the interview, people began to wonder, was she really hurt, or just trying to protect her reputation? But in reality TV, where real feelings, producer influence, and public image blend together, it is hard to tell what is authentic anymore. So what was real, what was emotional, and what was simply good PR? One thing was clear: Leticia might have been hurt, but she was not staying silent. Still, in one emotional moment during her Instagram live, she dropped her guard. Her voice was shaky but honest. "I thought we were family. You could have just called me sis. You didn't have to go public like that." In that moment, it was not about cameras or clapbacks. It was about two women, tied by family, pulling apart on the world's stage. At the heart of all this was not just betrayal or jealousy, it was a deep breakdown in communication. But just when fans thought the worst was over, when it seemed like things might quiet down, another twist hit. Behind the scenes, things got messier, way messier. According to someone from the production team, the real drama happened off camera, or so they thought. Turns out, a crew member kept the camera rolling during a private moment that took place inside the makeup trailer during a promo shoot. That trailer, meant to be a calm space, turned into chaos. Someone brought up the podcast, and suddenly the energy changed. Leticia confronted Kimmi directly. "You out here trying to make me look like the bad guy? After everything, you go run your mouth to a podcast?" The room went silent. Kimmi stayed seated, calm but firm. Her reply hit hard. "I did not lie. If the truth hurts, that's not on me." Her words were sharp, not loud, but they cut deep. And that was the moment everything fell apart. Years of tension, resentment, and pain spilled out right there. No filters, no edits. And the cameras caught it all. If that footage ever airs, it will make the podcast look like a friendly chat. Things exploded. Voices were raised, furniture was reportedly moved, and the scene got so heated that producers had to step in. Crew members froze. Makeup artists scattered. And then Morris and Marceau rushed in to stop things from going further. It was no longer behind-the-scenes tension. It became reality, raw and unfiltered. And just when you think it could not get any worse, the drama inside the production team began. Some producers wanted to show everything in a mid-season special. It was powerful, emotional, and real. But others worried. They knew how reality TV often paints black women angry, broken, and loud. Releasing this footage could reinforce harmful stereotypes. That is when things turned serious. Legal teams got involved. Parts of the footage were cut. Some scenes were erased. One crew member even leaked that the most shocking part, a single comment fans are calling career-ending, was completely removed. The rumor that Leticia said something deeply cruel about Kimmi's past cancer battle. According to whispers, Leticia accused her of using her illness to get sympathy while destroying the family's name. If that is true, if she really said it, fans agree, that is not just drama, that is pure cruelty. The internet exploded. Reddit threads were packed with theories. YouTubers broke down scenes frame by frame. X, formerly Twitter, erupted with hashtags like #KIMMY deserves better, #Leticia exposed, and #TrailerGate. Fans were emotionally hooked. And in the middle of it all, Kimmi responded, not with a rant, not with a video, but with one quiet Instagram story. "Healing comes when you stop entertaining chaos." That was all she said. And somehow, that single sentence said everything. No names, no hashtags, no dramatic statements, just calm in the middle of chaos. While Kimmi's quiet strength spoke volumes, Leticia disappeared completely. No tweets, no lives, not even a single story update. Her silence left fans puzzled. Something felt off. Some insiders whispered that OWN had told both women to step back from social media to avoid breaking contracts or triggering legal trouble. Others said the network was in a panic, worried the show might fall apart under the weight of real-life drama that could not be edited away. Each passing day made it clear this was not just a disagreement. The bond between Kimmi and Leticia was no longer cracked. It looked completely shattered. Just when people thought the worst was behind them, when things started to go quiet, the calm was broken. Melody stepped in. Yes, Melody, always composed, always ready to speak up when things get out of control. And this time, she came in with quiet confidence and a plan to reveal everything. It began with a late-night Instagram live. Melody sat in a silk robe, sipping tea like she had all the time in the world. At first, fans thought it was her usual way of being shady without naming names. But then she leaned forward, and her voice changed. Y'all surprised Kimmi finally spoke her truth. That woman has been holding back for years, and what she said on that podcast, that barely touched the surface. Viewers were shocked. But Melody was not done. Halfway through the live, she dropped a major claim. She said she had receipts, not guesses, not rumors, real proof, screenshots, deleted messages, covered up conversations. All of it, she said, showed that someone had worked behind the scenes to damage Kimmi's image. Reddit blew up. TikTokers started analyzing old episodes like detectives. Hashtags spread like wildfire. Everyone was digging for proof. Then came the biggest shock. Melody posted a screenshot to her story. It disappeared within minutes, but fans saved it. The image looked like an old group chat from 2022. In it, someone believed to be Leticia had written, "She's using her health and her marriage to look innocent. She doesn't fool me. Let her go public and I swear I'll finish her." Whether the screenshot was real or not, fans were horrified. The idea that Leticia might have said something like that while Kimmi was battling cancer turned everything upside down, almost overnight. Leticia's image changed. She was no longer seen as a strong woman protecting her family. She now looked like someone cold, calculated, and ruthless. Meanwhile, Kimmi responded in her usual quiet way with strength. She posted a message on Instagram that read, "I've learned that silence isn't strength when it protects those who hurt you. I choose peace, but I won't pretend anymore." That line hit hard. OWN could no longer stay quiet. Fans flooded the network with emails. Reports said over 15,000 messages came in, demanding they release the unedited footage from the makeup trailer incident. Behind the scenes, rumors started flying that OWN was thinking about giving Melody her own spin-off just to deal with the fallout. What started as a simple podcast confession had now turned into a massive storm. Years of carefully edited scenes, quiet pain, and behind-the-scenes games were coming into the light. Melody, once dismissed as dramatic, now looked like the one who saw the truth all along. Kimmi, who once stayed quiet to protect others, was finally standing in her truth. But Leticia, she was falling fast. The silence that once felt calm now looked like guilt. The consequences were quick and harsh. Brand deals were cancelled. Invitations to speak were quietly pulled back. Her name, once tied to elegance and leadership, was now linked to rumors and betrayal. People close to the show said sponsors had paused all promotion with her business, and even women's empowerment groups were cutting ties. OWN was in crisis. Emergency meetings were held. Some execs wanted to cut ties with everyone involved. Others saw a chance to ride the wave for ratings.